my name's Amy Farina, and I'm the founder and executive director of Drop Bass Not Bumps. I've been working in the hard dance scene for over 6 years, both in the Netherlands and in the United States. Over the last 6 years, I was not only a party goer and a music lover, a huge fan of the harder styles, I was also a promoter, event manager, and event organizer. Over those 6 years, both behind the scenes and in the crowd, I've noticed that looking out on the dance floor, it's men and women dancing together, having fun. But then when you look at the lineups, both at indoor and outdoor events, or if you look on the stage, it's overwhelmingly male-dominated.
Hi, I'm Dr. Anne Greenville, and you probably know me better as Annex. And I'm a producer and DJ in the Frenchcore genre of hardcore music. And I started this a couple years ago, and one of the real reasons why I wanted to start is I found that women were underrepresented in the hard dance scene and also in Frenchcore, especially on the main stages and at the bigger festivals. And so what I want to do is to try to become myself a really good producer, and by doing so kind of create a role model for girls who might want to go into production or into the music industry to be able to see someone who they can resonate with and who they can see themselves kind of being as well. And then you kind of break a barrier that way for girls coming up into the industry. And also in the genre, in my production, I want to do more femininity, so bring that into the Frenchcore, and I think the genre is also quite open to that. So I think there's lots of opportunities there.
Hi, I'm Lydia. I'm from Austria, but I live in the Netherlands, and I'm in the scene since around 4 years now. In the beginning, I was just a visitor, and then I think like 3 years ago, I started to actively blog on my Instagram and post about parties and hardstyle festivals. And I also worked as a journalist for an online magazine. And around 2 years, me and a colleague decided to start our own online magazine, especially for the hardstyles and especially for the German-speaking crowd, because the German-speaking crowd is like way bigger than expected most of the time. And I'm also working for a German hardstyle festivals organizer in marketing and communications.
Hi, I'm Wijk. I'm from Estonia. I am the brains behind this documentary. I have a chef's degree and a fashion design degree. I've been in the hard dance scene for over 8 years, but more active for at least 4. I'm a model, so I've done promotional pictures for other local DJs, like other artists, and I've been featured also in a music video. This documentary for me is really important because it's been eating me for years, just to see that on the lineups, like in any kind of music festival, that there's only one or none female DJs represented.
My name is Alennah. You may know me from my festival vlogs or artist interviews. Right now I'm focusing mostly on doing collabs and bigger projects like this. I've been into the scene for about 7 years. I've been doing the filming for about 4 years now. And one of the things I noticed was that I'm always filming with men. And I love it, but I was also thinking, why? Why am I not filming with as much women as I'm filming with men? So for myself, I try to change that. So I've been working with some incredible power women, like behind the scenes, but also DJs. And I want more people to do that. I want more people to see these women.
So over these last 6 years, I thought about what can I do to fix this? What can I do to make a change to this problem? So last summer, I started a group here in the Netherlands of creative and professional women working in the hard dance scene. And these women are involved in all different areas of the scene, whether it's vlogging, blogging, fashion, DJing, producing, event organizing, graphic design. These are all people I know and friends of mine. So we got together, we made a group, and from that group, something amazing was formed. Women supporting women in the scene, and that's what this is all about. Let's look at the facts. Taking into consideration 13 of the largest annual hard dance events in the Netherlands since 2003, only 9 anthems are by or featuring female artists. Looking at 3 of the major top hard dance lists from the last 3 years, approximately 40 tracks were by or featuring female hard dance artists out of 700 tracks. That's around 17.5%. This number has not increased over the last few years. So my question is why? This is one of many topics we seek to address in this documentary.
I experience inequality mainly in form of not being taken seriously, especially with having our own company. Me and my colleague, he's male, already figured out that people just don't take me as serious as they take him. although I have to say, I get way easier in contact with like partners who work with organizers, promoters or whatever, and they are mainly like more nice towards me. But in the end, when it comes to contracts or business talk, they always prefer to talk to him.
We also get criticized for everything what we do there, like for our clothes, for makeup, for hairstyles, like, and it's so annoying to see how people comment on other girls that, oh my god, you look like a slut. It's like, no, like the guys do the same thing, but they don't get as much shit as like we do. I've seen online a lot of comments about how the female DJs dress on stage, but then you see the other guys who are like basically half naked or like wearing nothing at all. Like there was a couple of examples a few years ago, like outdoors, and then you see online how the people are commenting under the girls' pictures that why are you only wearing a bra?
Passion is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's something that really, really annoys me and something that hurts me since such a long time. Because everyone always wants to talk to my colleague about business talk, about contracts, because everyone is like super friendly to me and super nice towards me and is always like, yeah, of course, yeah, sure, we can do this. But when it comes to effect, it's always like, no, we want to talk to your colleague because we think you're not qualified enough. But what the hell? That's just not true. No, but I work so much harder and I always have to work 2 times harder than he does to be taken seriously, and I think it's just not fair, and everyone thinks like equality is here, but it isn't, and no one sees it. Like, sorry, that's out of my frustration.
I wanted to say that too, though, that it was like, I feel like I just have to do so much more to prove myself than just a guy who can show up and be like, hey, like, hey, girl.
I literally like have it black and white with like my colleague and with the experiences of our company, that I always have to work twice as hard to be taken serious, and that still no one wants to do the business talk with me, but just the like fun part, because I'm cute, I'm pretty, like everyone wants to like be around me, but no one wants to work with me, and I'm like, what the fuck?
As a producer and who's also female, I have to say I've had really good experiences as well. So when I talk to other DJs and producers and people who work in the industry, I really find a lot of common ground with them, and in this way we have a lot of mutual respect. And I went through academia for a long time. I was in school for many, many years, and there, like, women are really treated as equals and people listen to what you have to say when you have an opinion. And I didn't expect that in the music industry. I thought I would have to fight for a lot more respect and have to fight to be heard, like, with my voice a lot more versus just for how I look. But I really didn't find that was the case. So I'm really pleasantly surprised with the amount of commonality that I find with other producers and also other people who listen to my music and fans who engage with me. And I've had really good feedback as well with people who watch my tutorials, and I think they find it really engaging, and it's not important to them whether or not I'm a woman. It's just kind of the messages coming through, and they like to learn and they like to listen.
Exactly the unfair point. Who has the money? Man, why? Why do I have the money? Why do I have the power? Because they get the chances that females often don't get, and that's exactly the point where we are in the situation where everyone thinks we have gender equality, but we don't have it at all, because still men have the power, still have the money. There are a lot of females working in the scene, like they are like mainly like behind the scenes. There are mainly like more women working in the scene than men. But if you go like a step higher, if you check who is leading the companies, who has like the good jobs, who is standing in front of the scene, like as a DJ, it's always men, because they always get the power and the money. I don't get the point, but no one wants to see it, and I don't know why.
So sometimes I have to go backstage for my work. So either I'm invited by organizations or by artists to tag along with them to festivals. And there's just people saying behind my back that I must have sucked somebody's dick or fuck the DJ I'm with or whatever. And it's just so weird, because these organizations and these artists are inviting me because they trust my work and they want me to work with them. So why is that so hard to believe for other people?
Last year I was at the festival, like sitting backstage talking to one of my friends, and one of the stage managers, he came up to us and he started telling like really bad things about me, like directly into my face, but like I didn't get everything what he said, but then he walked away and my friend translated everything and I was like, what the actual fuck? Like, are you serious? Like, that happened like literally like less than a meter away. Like, he was standing next to me and I didn't even know his name. I've seen him before and I talked to him and everything was fine, but now it was like a totally different person, like standing in front of me. And I told the story to my friends, to the people like who were sitting at the festival. I told them that, like, why? And after that he got fired. And on the same day I went to my friends and I was pointing the person out and I asked like, what's this problem with me? And they said, I don't know, I have no idea. In the end, the boss heard what happened and I explained to him too. And after that, he got fired because you just don't do that.
As a female partygoer, especially in the Netherlands and in the hard dance scene, I actually feel really comfortable, and I think this is opposite to some of the stories I hear, and I have had bad experiences once in a while, but they're really rare, and I find the harder the genre and the harder the music is at the festival or the party I'm going to, the more respectful people are. So for example, if you go to like a terrorcore or a speedcore convention, it's going to be a lot different in my experience than if I would just go to like the main stage at a hardstyle festival. So overall, I find people are really respectful, and I thought they would touch me in the crowd a lot more, and they don't. So thank you for that. It's a pleasant surprise. And I think also it has to do with being in the Netherlands, and I think this country is quite safe and women are quite well respected here.
People at the parties tend to touch my hair or just like pull it and then walk away. They grab my arm because it's full of tattoos and they turn it and I just pull it back. Like, I'm like, okay, you can look at it, but just don't touch me. Or they're grabbing my ass. But the last part, it hasn't happened to me anymore because I have that certain look, like people are really scared to approach me.
The experience I have with sexual harassment is also what other people here already said, like people touching you and, touching your ass, slapping your ass, grabbing your arms or your hair. I wear caps a lot. I really like having something on my head. I always have a cap or a hat on. And for some reason people always want to, steal it or touch your hair or whatever. And it's really annoying because, you don't always want to be touched. And I don't get why that's so hard to believe, because I do love taking pictures with like people who come up to me like, hey, I know you from your vlogs. Do you want to take a picture? Yes, but that does not invite you to like touch me, especially if you're like 5 times into a sweaty nighttime party. Guys, I love you, but yeah, I don't want to be in your sweaty armpits when you've been partying for like a long time. So I think the point here is consent. If you want to hug, if you want a picture, if you want to touch me or do something or talk to me, just ask. It's fine. I can say no, I can say yes, depending on the situation or mood. But if you ask, that's perfectly fine. Some of the examples are quite mild, as I said, like hugging. I don't always want to be hugged. But some are more extreme. Like one of the things, I was at this big indoor party, like one of the biggest. It was really cool, but it was really hot. Like it gets hot at those parties. So I was, I think, in a bra or just a crop top. I don't exactly remember. And I was getting some drinks with 2 of my guy friends, just like outside of the party area. And I had a sticker on my boob. I always put stickers on everybody and everything, and also on myself. It's just fun. And this guy just pulled it. So he pulled open my shirt and like grabbed my boob. I was just basically shocked. So I pulled back, and luckily my guy friends got really angry at him because I didn't really react. I was just very like, oh, what's happening? And they got really mad at me. But the thing is, I was so shocked but also like uneasy after that, so I walked like with my arm around one of my guy friends, but that really took like a toll on me while I was at that party. So I think people don't always know what kind of effect they're having on somebody, but that can have a big effect, because I was having a good time and this guy just wanted to ruin it for me, basically. So when that happened, my friends did step in. That was really nice. I was with 2 friends. I think one of them pushed him away or something. I don't remember that clearly. But he was pushed away, and then basically we walked off. One of them yelled at him. And I think it's really good that people do that, because if you see like a friend or somebody misbehaving, all you have to do is step up and say something about it. Like, if your friend is misbehaving, you can just say, instead of laugh, you can just say, hey guy, quit it, don't do that, she's obviously not enjoying it. I think that will make like a big difference, especially if they're not willing to listen to women. As a guy, you can step up and say something.
So kind of in contrast to that, I have had a couple negative experiences, but these are really, really limited, and they've only been limited so far to online, and within probably like opportunities for a million different interactions with people, I've had maybe 3 or 4 bad ones. So I have to say I'm also really surprised with that. And the negative reactions, like the negative and angry reactions I get, they're the ones that really stick with you. And I think they boil down to people thinking that I'm using my looks or being conventionally attractive as a way to kind of distract people or lure people in and take them away from the quality of my music, which they might not think is so high. And that's to the detriment of someone else who might be getting attention as another producer. So one example is when I was DJing online, this girl was calling me a liar because she thought she saw the sync on my CDJ, when these are all the songs I produced like from ground up myself from day one. And another example was when someone said I was just woman pushing buttons when I'm using this hardware that's literally called the Push, with all the integrated setup that I have with my DAW. So yeah, these people, in a couple cases, so the most cases actually, when I confronted them, they actually said, oh shit, maybe that wasn't such a nice thing to say, sorry. And I think in this way, I'm trying to kind of humanize myself. And by doing so, people see you as literally more of a human being and not just someone who's, you know, trying to like, detract from whatever quality they think my music is with another attribute that I have.
Sexual harassment online is mostly happening in form of DMs and dick pics. And since we're talking about dick pics, I think I could probably make a whole art exhibition out of them. And honestly, I really don't get the point, because there will never be a woman who will be like, oh, yeah, that's nice. I think I want to date this guy. But talking about dick pics and like online sexual harassment, I often think like people are just taking it too easy and everyone is like, get over it. But I really feel like I want to share how I feel with it sometimes, because, for example, recently I was just like in the kitchen like doing stuff, and I randomly opened a DM on Instagram, and I just got a video like from a guy, like no idea who he is, just masturbating, and I was so like shocked because I didn't expect it at all. I was just like I was just randomly open a message, and I literally dropped the glass in my hand on the floor, and I was like, wow, thanks for nothing. Like, why are you doing this? What does it give to you? Like, why? I really don't get the point. And to all the working professionals in the scene, I would just love to see a change in the way we behave with each other. And maybe just ask yourself, would I behave differently if the person in front of me would be from a different gender, or would I behave the same way?
I think a lot of the problem, and at least this is one of my theories, and this is something I find myself doing too, if I see a DJ who's a girl or who's a woman who's really attractive, and then I think, oh, she must not be producing her own songs. And because I think she's not producing her own songs, I don't think she has the ability to produce her own songs, then I don't think the music is as good, and then I don't think any women have the ability to produce their own music, which is a horrible thing to think, even like as a producer myself. But I think this is really the negative reinforcing loop that's going on in the industry. And there are a lot of women who are ghost produced, but there's also a lot of men who are ghost produced. And nobody's talking about this, and I think there's really a big gender bias here. So for me, I really have to check my own bias as well. Because the way I'm thinking when I see like a DJ or a performer for the first time, I realize this is probably what other people are thinking when they see me perform for the first time. So that's why I think it's really important to bring a sense of legitimacy and transparency in that I'm also a producer myself. But it's also important to treat women with more equality, seeing them up on stage.
Yeah, Anne said as well about criticism she's getting from other women, and I get there's a sense of competition because there's like little of us in the spotlights, and of course you want to do your work well, but one woman's success is not taking away from your success. So you can both be successful and really good at what you do without taking away from somebody else. And I must say, I have been seeing this more and more. A few years ago, I got a lot of shit for dating someone in the scene from other women, and I was like, oh, you can't even be happy for me because, you know, we're two people who like each other, and then people you thought you were friends can't be happy for you. But I have noticed now that I have the right people around me, the right women around me, and they're all very supportive, and that's really nice to see. And I think that's something we should remember as well. Like, as I said, one's success is not taking away from yours, one's happiness is not taking away from yours, and we can just build each other up that way.
What we can do as women in the industry is pretty simple, actually. Just support each other instead of fighting against each other, and helping each other out in every kind of possible way. What I would love to tell partygoers to make the dance floor more safe is just ask yourself a simple question. Ask yourself the next time at the party, am I behaving appropriately? Would I say this to my sister or to my mom? How would I react if someone would do that to me? Like, it's as simply as this. This is the way how we can make the dance floor safe. If we all behave like with mutual respect. For organizers and promoters, I think they just have to be aware of the situation and make a clear statement that our parties are an equal dance floor for everyone, and that everyone should be like treated equally here and feel safe in every kind of way. And I would really appreciate if like promoters and organizers would be more aware of the situation and make this point very clear.
I think most of my experiences are positive. Of course, these are some examples of things I experienced. But yeah, I do have really a lot of fun in this scene. Like, it's a little family and we're all really, really close, especially working with some of the artists as well. Of course, we now formed this group, which is really cool to see all these women support each other. And me filming the last year and a half with more women has made some beautiful connections as well. And it's really cool to see how people in the scene, women in the scene, support each other, give each other work, give each other tips and tricks, send each other, like, maybe somebody has work for me and she'll just send it to me, or the other way around. So I think it's really beautiful, and I think that's what our scene is about as well. Like we always say, it's a family, so we should behave that way.
Our group is going to make history. For now, it's been only online by sharing each other's posts and standing up for each other when we get really hateful comments. We need to show the scene that we're not joking around, and we don't need anyone to be a +1. There are not a lot of women in our scene, so we need to be more supportive towards each other and to boost each other up. And what I mean by that is, if you're too afraid to stand up for yourself, just ask for help. We're here for you.
I want to thank you all so much for watching this first episode. We're going to do a lot more. We're going to talk a lot to people in the scene, people working behind the scenes, but also DJs, people that are involved. Of course, you can get involved as well if you have a story to share. Please comment. Maybe you don't want your name to be out there. You can always email or DM me. We won't publish anything with names that you don't wanna. We are thinking about making a group or Facebook page. If there's info about that, you can read it in the description. And big thanks to DJ School Alphen and Dutch DJs, because we're at their studio today the whole day filming, and they're really involved as well. So thank you so much. Subscribe for more, and see you soon. Bye.
That was good. Ready?
Yes.
Hi. Okay.
Do you want my full name, or should I just do Annex?
Dr. Ann.
Dr.
Ann Rainbow.
Do you think? Yes, I think I will mention.
Or well, do what you want. Sorry, you don't need to be bossy.
Cool,
You're a doctor.
Otherwise, I'm going to do like, can someone call a doctor?
It's not like I'm a doctor.
No, it's not. Of course not.
It's awesome you're a doctor. I wish I just wanted my PhD so I can be Dr. Unicorn.
Yeah, that's why I wanted it.
That's the only reason.
That's the only reason I got it.
Yeah.
Yes?
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, but like usually I'm constantly touching my hair, so.
It only happens to me when I'm high.
Like, I'm so soft.
Oh my god.
I need to do this every time. You have a zipper there. I'm gonna look at that piece of zipper.
Am I?
Perfect. Yay!
Yay.
I think there's
Yeah.
I can't think of anything. I mean, you answered all the questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's it.
Let's look at the facts. Taking into consideration of sorry.
That was actually kind of funny. Let's look at the facts.
Yeah, because I wanted to be like I wanted to be dramatic, like let's look at the facts. Like,
Well, when you're blind, you also want to go. Like,
yeah, I also can't really see. I should have made the I wanted to be like let's look at the facts, but that was a bit too dramatic. That was too dramatic.
No, I have that on camera. Thank you. Leah.
No!
That's why I was only doing this.
That was perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah, good job. That was like
Yes, girl.
But it's
So good.
also